my dear friends, how are you all? I hope you all are keeping well. Let us today talk about a very important topic from class 7, taken from the chapter Nutrition in Animals. The topic name is Digestive System in Humans. Before really going into the details of this digestive system in humans, let us first understand what is digestive system. As we all know that we eat food. Now this food is not as simple as it has been synthesized by the plants in the form of glucose. But what we eat is a very complex form of nutrients. Now the body needs to break down this complex form so that the nutrients get available to all the body parts in their simplest form so that they can be utilized. Now for this, a specific system is given in our body. As the name indicates, this is a system which will have several steps. For the simplification, we can divide the steps of digestive system in 5. That is, first ingestion, second digestion, third absorption, fourth assimilation, and fifth egestion. Please don't get scared by these names. We are going to talk one by one these steps in detail. Let us first talk about the first step, that is ingestion. Ingestion means the process of taking food into the body. Now, as we know that each and every organism have different mode of taking food into the body. We have seen that amoeba take the food with the help of pseudopodia, or the mosquito suck the food with the help of proboscis. But if we talk about ourselves, we only take our food through mouth. So this mouth or buccal cavity is the way in which we take the food. This process is called as ingestion. Once the food enters into the mouth or buccal cavity, the further process of breaking down of the food starts. And for this, mouth has mainly 3 components. They are teeth, tongue, and saliva. If we talk about teeth, we have got different types of teeth for better breakdown, or I can say physically break down the food. For this, we have upper jaw and lower jaw, which contains equal sets of teeth. These teeth set are having different function and different structure. If we talk about different sets of teeth, we have specifically 4 types of teeth. They are number 1, incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. When we talk about incisors, incisors are the front flat part, or I can say flat and sharp teeth, which are used for biting and cutting. While canines, which are very prominent in carnivores, are used for tearing the food. Premolars and molars present in us are used for chewing and grinding the food. All these sets of teeth help us for proper breakdown of the food which we have ingested. In an adult, 32 sets of teeth is there. Then the second component of mouth is tongue. Tongue has taste bud which helps to taste the food. Now these taste buds are specifically again of 4 types. They are bitter, sour, salty, and sweet. One more important function of tongue is to mix the food with saliva. Now here the question comes, what do you mean by saliva? So if we talk about saliva, saliva is the watery fluid present in the mouth. It has been secreted by salivary glands. These salivary glands are being present in our mouth in 3 pairs. Now here I am taking a very important word, or I can say term, that is glands. What do you mean by glands? These glands are specifically made as chemical factories which produces enzymes. These enzymes help in the process of digestion. Now if we talk about the enzymes present in saliva, which has been secreted by salivary glands, the enzyme present in saliva is amylase. The amylase convert starch into sugar. That means here the breakdown of food started with the help of teeth, and with the help of chemicals, further digestion process have also been initiated in the buccal cavity, or I can say mouth. Now let us study about the second most important step of digestive system, that is digestion. Digestion which has already been started in the mouth. That means digestion is the process of breakdown of complex food, of nutrients into its simplest form so that the body can utilize it. It is very important to know that how much the nutrient has to be broken down. Let us talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates has to be broken down into its simplest form, glucose. If I talk about proteins, protein is to be broken down into amino acids, and fats, of course, into fatty acids and glycerols. For the breakdown of these complex food nutrients, enzymes plays a very important role. Let us now understand how further digestion process takes place. Once the food enters into the mouth, it enters into the food pipe. The food pipe is also called as esophagus. Now this food pipe doesn't have any enzyme and no digestion process takes place here. Just it's a pipe which just connects mouth to the muscular bag which is called as stomach. Now here the real process of digestion start. If I talk about stomach has 3 important components. They are hydrochloric acid, mucus and gastric juices. Hydrochloric acid, it's a very strong acid present in stomach. This hydrochloric acid have 2 functions. First, it will kill the germs which might be ingested with the food. Secondly, most important function of hydrochloric acid is to provide acidic medium for gastric juices. Gastric juices can only work when we have acidic medium, and this acidic medium is being provided by hydrochloric acid. Now as this hydrochloric acid is so strong that it can melt even metal if been exposed to metal, so how the stomach wall is been protected from it? So if we just talk about the protection of the stomach wall is being covered by mucus. This mucus just protect the stomach from hydrochloric acid. This is a very important point to note down. If we then come to gastric juices have a very important enzyme called as pepsin, which acts only on proteins. They convert proteins into peptides. Once the food reaches to stomach, it stays here for 4 to 5 hours till the churning of the food takes place. Once the food is being churned properly and the gastric juices acts on proteins, the food is further passed into the long tube-like structure which is called as small intestine. As soon as the food enters into the small intestine, two important glands pour their secretions, pour their enzymes into the first part of the intestine, which is also called as duodenum. Now, these two important glands are liver, which is also the largest gland in our body. This liver produces bile juice. It forms bile juice which will act on fats. This bile juice will act on fats. Okay, remember this. This is a very important part because bile juice is formed in the liver, but it is been stored in the gallbladder. Many of the students get confused within the gallbladder and the liver. Gallbladder is just a storage of bile juice. And remember this also, that food never enters into the liver. It just be there in the small intestinal tubes, and liver with the help of the gallbladder just pour its secretion into this small intestine where the food is present. One more gland here becomes activate, that is pancreas. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juices. This pancreatic juice acts upon all the three main nutrients of the food, that is carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Now further, the food will move into a very long tube, as we have talked earlier, that is the small intestine, the second and third part of the small intestine, where the small intestinal glands will secrete the enzymes. These enzymes will act upon all the nutrients and break down further into their simplest form. If we just revise what we have studied, carbohydrates will be broken down into glucose, proteins will be broken down into amino acids, fats will be broken down into fatty acids and glycerols. That means complete digestion takes place in small intestine. The complete breakdown of the food takes place in small intestine. This is a very important question asked in the exams also. So once the digestion process is been completed in small intestine, now the third step of digestive system starts. Here the small intestine contains villi, which are finger-like projection where the blood vessels will absorb the nutrients. Now the blood vessels, that means the blood absorbs the nutrients. The process or the step is called as absorption. Once the blood absorbs all the nutrients, it will distribute it to all the parts of the body wherever they are being needed. Now this step is called as assimilation. Further, the food enters into the large intestine. Now most of the nutrients are being absorbed in the small intestine, but one important component of food was being left. It was water. So water is being further absorbed by large intestine. With the water, several salts are also present. So several salts are also being absorbed in the large intestine. This large intestine also have villi similar to the small intestine, and so the water is also being absorbed by blood and being taken to all the different parts of the body. Now the leftover, that is the waste of the food, is being then collected into a small bag-like structure called as rectum. Once this rectum is being full, there is a need to go to the washroom, and all the waste comes out through the opening called as anus. This process is called as digestion, the last step of digestive system. So just further to revise the steps of digestive system, let us have a quick recap. There are 5 steps. We have talked about the first step, that is ingestion, taking in food by mouth. Second, digestion, where the food is been broken down as it was the complex nutrients into its simpler form. Now the complete digestion takes place in the small intestine. We have seen this. In the small intestine only the absorption of the simpler nutrients was being there by blood. Once the blood absorbs a simpler form of nutrients, it distributes it to all the parts of the body. This is called as assimilation, and the waste from the body, that is the digestive waste from the is been eliminated by anus. This process is called as digestion. This was a very deep insight to the digestive system in humans. I hope you have understood this system, and these 5 steps will help you to further analyze the system. Thank you so much for watching this video.